Hello everyone and welcome to game number 1 in a series between Bizzare and Walter. Right now we take a look over here on the top right hand side of the map. We have Bizzare spawning as the human player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile we have Walter spawning as the teal night elf. This game was taken from, I believe, Community Cup Community Cup 12 from the ESL, and this is going to be the final, so it will be a best of 3. And well, although they are not as well-known players, hopefully ESL's Community Cups and other events will continue to attract more and more players as things do get underway here. One thing to note, Bizzare is actually playing random. So he is a random human player, and as a random human player, it's always interesting to see what, well, Walter is going to be trying to figure out his matchup is going to be. You can see an Ancient of War has been placed down as we are going for the Ultra of Elders and Moonwell here. I have not seen that many random players play recently, so I am curious as to the level that Bizzare here can actually execute this particular strategy. We are going to be looking at an Archmage coming out. Footman will be trained here in just a moment. He is going to be going up against a Demon Hunter, which makes a lot of sense because the Demon Hunter is perhaps one of the most versatile heroes in the Night Elf arsenal, able to shut down a plethora of other heroes from the other races. Now, Wisp will be making his way across, and he will then spot that it is going to be a human versus night elf matchup. Obviously, Bizzare has known that for quite some time as a Footman, now moving out across the map to perhaps try and shut down this Ancient of War creeping. Taking a look back across here, that Archer will get ensnared, actually a little bit well protected with that ensnare here. And the problem is, if that Footman tries to get close, the other Forest Troll Trapper is most likely going to throw down an ensnare as well. That is one of the reasons why the Footman not going to be going off there, instead going to try and scout out the mercenary camp, see if his opponent is down there. Meanwhile, Bizzare is making his way down across here. Is he going to be able to finish off this 5-3-3 creep camp? As we see a quick ensnare go down from the Forest Troll Trapper. A little bit of a benefit there, as the Forest Troll Trapper, because he ensnared the Water Elemental, will not be attacking that Water Elemental there. Something with the AI, as we see a little bit of a mistake there, a Militia not getting microed back, and well, one Militia down. It is going to cause another, well, Demon Hunter going after that Peasant there, so that is going to be another quick kill. Perhaps Bizzare knew that the Demon Hunter was on his way, and he did not want to give two very, very easy targets. All right, Archmage still wandering around. You can take a look. Mana is, well, a little bit of an issue currently for that Archmage, currently sitting at only 32 mana. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter most likely has Mana Burn ready to go, does also have Claws of Attack +6, as we are looking at an upgrade to an Arcane Tower, or should be doing that in just a moment. Now, what else are we going to be looking at here? It looks as though lumber is a bit of an issue, as we do see two peasants lying in wait, ready to go. We are going to be at level 2 now with Brilliance Aura, as more and more peasants should be trained up back home. Only 3 currently working instead of on the gold mine there, as we should be looking at perhaps a town hall here in just a moment. We are going to be looking at a handful of archers making their way out across. We see a Forest Troll Shadow Priest as well, as the Demon Hunter trying to get into position does have Boots of Speed. And with those Boots of Speed, should be able to run around here fairly quickly. The big question is going to be, is this Arcane Tower going to be enough? You see Demon Hunter now making its way over. Is it going to try and Mana Burn? No real Mana Burn, no real reason to, since the Archmage is only sitting at 39 mana. Demon Hunter now going to be forced to back off here. It looked like a unit was able to run back down to the south, as we do see the Forest Troll Shadow Priest doing what it does best, abolishing magic of the Water Elemental, and now thereby giving level 2 to that Demon Hunter. 50-point Mana Burn now coming across. Archmage still running around, does not have Boots of Speed, not going to be able to run around nearly as easily, as there is some beautiful pathing coming here, as Bizzare now trying to run his way back off to the north again. All right, the Demon Hunter is getting in some easy quick shots. What is happening here? Where's that Archmage going to go? Archmage going to fall as the... What is this? Oh my goodness, this is going to be a complete box in here, as the Demon Hunter is now stuck in a very, very bad spot as well. No way to get out, and I do not believe I do not believe Walter actually thought that this was an untraversable area. Beautiful, beautiful positioning on the buildings. Not something I really expected. That Archmage trapped himself into a corner, but we essentially traded a level 2 hero with a little bit of experience for a 350 Scroll of Town portal. That also forced him to try and drain a lot of these Moonwells here. 2 Moonwells are currently almost bone dry, with a third one about halfway. Now the Demon Hunter is going to go ahead and finish off this Ogre Magi creep camp. He will get to level 3, and once Walter's Demon Hunter gets to level 3, that is going to be a problem. 100-point mana burns are going to be a very big issue, as the Archmage will not be able to cast that nearly as freely. I'm still waiting on an Arcane Vault here, as that does seem to be the standard MO for many human players, as we are looking into another Scout Tower. Now, what does Bizzare want to do? Bizzare wants to try and drag out this game as long as he can, but without going into low upkeep. Echo Isles is one of those maps where every piece of gold matters tremendously, as we are now looking at Walter coming in with those cold arrows, and we'll get an easy shot off onto this footman here. I believe an archer or two should be able to finish it off. 1 more arrow or 2 more arrows should do it. There it goes. Naga Sea Witch gets the experience there at 64. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter perhaps going to intercept the Archmage once more. Archmage now running around the corner here. Demon Hunter may try to pick up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest again. You can see the Demon Hunter now rushing off inside here, and there's the mana burn. No Water Elemental, and a big mistake by Bizzare. Bizzare unable to cast a Water Elemental for quite some time, as he is currently short by about 40, as the Demon Hunter going to be doing it once more. All right, Archmage losing 187 mana, no more mana possible, but he does have the economic advantage going for him. Will he be able to perhaps take out this mercenary camp in order to get some Forest Troll Shadow Priest or some other way to spend that gold? That is going to be the big question. It doesn't matter how much gold is in your bank if you don't have units on the field. The Demon Hunter and the Naga Sea Witch right now controlling the main walkway between these two bases, and that means that any units caught in will get caught in transit and get shut down. Meanwhile, Bizzare is actually looking to go ahead and head off to this green creep camp here, trying to gain experience away from where the Demon Hunter and Naga Sea Witch thinks they are. All right, let's gonna see what's gonna be happening over here. Wow, why are you just running by this particular creep camp? There is no expansion here. There is no pressure to be putting down, as we are now looking for the Demon Hunter finishing off and taking down a footman there. All right, there is one Tree of Life in position, but the Tree of Life is able to fight back, as we all know, as the footman perhaps going to back off. There's a Scroll of Town portal, another 350, no, not a scroll, Staff of Teleportation, as another mana burn does go down. Footman now trying to be very, very careful. They're going to get focused down very easily, as Walter looks to easily shut things off, and here comes a handful of Wisp. What does that mean? It means a lot of repairing. It means a lot of dead footmen. There goes a detonation onto a Water Elemental, and this is not going to be enough to finish off this Tree of Life, as the Tree of Life makes the slow walk over here to the south side. Things are not looking good at all for Bizzare. Walter is in key control. He does have the tech advantage, and he will soon be on even footing with the economic advantage. We can see that Bizzare, however, is currently upgrading, or has the blacksmith, and is now finally getting those riflemen. Also, a lot of archers or archer guard towers are going to be ready, as a Mountain King may be added as well. Back off to the north, Walter now clearing off the marketplace creep camp, has the best items on the map, as that Ogre Magi seems to be bugged out, not really attacking, not going anywhere, and that's a little bit of a lucky break, as that Ogre Magi does deal a fair bit of damage. Back across over here, Dryads are trying to keep track of where Bizzare's units are, as we are looking at dual Arcane Sanctums now being added. We are definitely in the mid-game portion of this battle, as the Mountain King going to be joining in. We are sitting at low upkeep now, and he's going to be going up against a no upkeep No upkeep Walter. All right, slightly larger in terms of the army size. There's also a lot of gold to be had. I take it back. Bizzare has a fair amount of gold and will be able to start training up some priest and spellbreakers fairly quickly. Those spellbreakers should perhaps be able to finish off the Demon Hunter, get some of that mana feedback going the other way, as the Demon Hunter has taken a fair bit of damage. He needs to back off, and we need to see perhaps Druids of the Claw. Druid of the Claw. Nope, not a Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw should be making their way out across the map momentarily. Meanwhile, in the center portion here, Dryads catching a Rifleman in transit. But as you know, Rifleman does have medium armor, protecting him from a little bit of that damage while dealing piercing damage back. A small patrolling group of Dryads just trying to catch any units off guard as they go in between the north and the south side of the bases. Meanwhile, we can see that Bizzare is clearing out another orange creep camp here. Supply. We are now looking at 50 over 50. Walter really looking to perhaps get a little bit more in the bank before he goes into low upkeep. Bizzare is currently sitting at low upkeep at 65 over 78 and also getting in mortar teams as well. This is looking very good for Bizzare. Now those Dryads, perhaps if they were actually with the rest of the Night Elf army, would have been able to creep out those creep camps slightly faster, especially as mortar teams are still being trained. And there it is down over here. Bizzare actually being very careful to keep all of his production buildings off here to the south so that it isn't possible to capture any units as they're traveling between the north and the south side. Dryads now making their way down. Are they going to catch perhaps a mortar team? That's going to be huge if they can get at least a little bit of damage onto some of those units. What's happening here? Why aren't the Dryads at least attacking here? There you go. At least slow it down and get a little bit of damage through. You can see that now they're going to be trying to fire back. There goes the attacks the other way as the Dryads apparently not getting enough information. Are they going to perhaps get some slow poison in? Yes, they are. There goes a little bit of Rifleman once more as the Dryads are trying to pick. We can see that Walter is currently sitting on a much smaller army, 57 over 60 compared to, I believe, 70 supply now. Yeah, 74 over 84. This is a massive army coming back the other way as we are going to be looking at perhaps mortar teams coming in to take down the Ancient of Wind and perhaps this expansion here. This is not looking good for Walter at all. There's a mana burn. Heroes are going to be pretty much neutralized, but the Bears are not in that front line as they need to be. Bears should be going after those Spellbreakers. Dryads are now going after the back line here. Perhaps also going after those Sorceress as well. As you can see, the mortar teams are in the back. This is a little bit of a pincer attack so far as both sides have taken a fair bit of damage. All right, Druid of the Claw trying to come in and engage right here. It looks as though some mortar teams are going to be ending up falling. There's some mana burn going down as well. One Fairy Dragon going to make it difficult to do any more casting as the units are now backing off here. The Dryads actually destroying the back line fairly quickly and easily. Perhaps should be going after some of these priests as well. All right, Archmage is in serious trouble. Looks like he's going to get taken down. Scroll of Healing, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and I believe that is going to be it with a Rejuvenation on an invulnerable Demon Hunter. That should be the GG, as there you have it. All right. Super Random or Walter taking game number 1 over Bizzare in this best of 3 series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Very, very strong news. Very good map awareness. And looking forward to casting game number 2 in this best of 3 series.